everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, and if you're brand new to this series, basically this is a series where I go to a local cinema of mine, and when it's showing kind of like an older movie, or whether it's like a restoration, like a 4K one, or whether it's just like a showing of a movie for like an anniversary, I like to do the series where I call Classic Movie Trip, where I take you with me, we go see the movie, most notably for the first time so far, and then I kind of talk about the movie as well. Well, today's movie is a 35th anniversary being shown in 4K, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Peter Weller and Kurtwood Smith, who I know as Red from That 70s Show, and it's called Robocop. So yeah, I've actually never seen Robocop. I've maybe seen tiny little bits of it in the past, but that's about it. So I don't really know anything about this, but I know that it is a well-known movie, and I'm very excited to check it out. So I'm actually about to head to my cinema called View, that's in Gateshead. So come join me on this ride, and let's find out if Robocop is any good, especially 35 years later. Let's get to it. And I've just gotten home from a 8 o'clock show of Robocop, finished at 10 past 10 at my local View cinema. And what can I honestly say about this movie? This was an awesome, fun time. What a great movie this was, and just I had a blast watching every single second of this movie. And what I will say is the 4K transfer as well, I could tell beautifully and masterfully done, because it had those original shots in where, for example, like the news reports are a little bit more grainier, and of course that is how it was originally filmed back in 87. But then in the clearer scenes that is intentionally made with the better camera quality, the 4K really kicks in and hones in on those scenes in particular, and it really made them stand out. And at times you didn't really feel like you were watching a 1987 movie. It felt like this movie could have came out maybe a couple of years ago, maximum at times, and I love it. I dug it. The performances throughout were fun. Everyone, you could tell, was having a blast in this movie, and Kurtwood Smith as Clarence, fantastic. Absolutely loved the guy again as Red Foreman in That 70s Show, and he just proves in this movie he makes a great villain. And yeah, what a perfect role for that guy. And then you got Nancy Allen, who's also in this movie as Officer Lewis. Yeah, she does a great job as well, of course, to our main character Murphy, who of course is an Officer Murphy, but then he becomes Robocop after a tragic injury that happens. And yeah, it's set in this dystopian world, and I love the world building around it, action set pieces, the violence scenes, just the explosions and the practical effects played throughout each and every sequence in this movie is so impressive and still holds up until now. Any negatives? I got one negative, and that is the ED 209 or the ED 209. Yeah, the CG doesn't hold up at all compared from 87 up until now. I love the CG. Like, it was just so many funny moments where the ED 209 or the ED 209, however you want to say it, I'm going to say ED 209, was like trying to master going down the stairs and it couldn't, and it was falling, and it was like that all the time. That was just so funny. Honestly, I laughed at those moments, but I can't say it for anyone kind of coming in from like an outside perspective, like myself seeing this for the first ever time. You might see it and you might be thinking, that CG is trash, and the effects back then were awful. But it kind of makes you appreciate technology from when we were in that time period in 1987 up until now in 2022 as of this recording. Yeah, such a blast. I honestly had a great time with this movie, and I've got to give a big shout out to Rashad from Rashad G Reviews, who I do know that he's told me this is one of his favourite movies in his top 10 ever, and I can honestly see why. I can't really rave about this movie enough. What I will say is, if you've never seen Robocop, please just go out there and go buy this movie, stream it, or go to the cinema if they're showing like a 4K release of it as well. It's honestly worth your time. And if you have seen Robocop, please leave any and all comments down below as well. Let me know what you think of the movie. But my overall score for Robocop is an 8.5 out of 10. So if you've enjoyed this classic movie trip, please give the video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.